Welcome to Try Animes, another anime pre-orders figure review or release. This is going to be from April 5th to April, not 10th, because that's this week's, April 8th. It's a bit of a late recording, so I've only got the 3 days on here, or 4, sorry, more than that, 5th, so 5th, 6th, yep, anyways. So let's see. Get that open. So this is what I normally do. Is I should normally pre-open a load of these. Just what I should have done before, before recording. But this is a bit of more of an out of sequence video. Let's see. And let's take a look at this one. And that's it. That'll be for the next video. Okay, so I'm missing a few days, unfortunately. It's just the way I got to doing this. That's fine. It's loaded, it's loaded. Before I get around to talking to these. Okay, so, yeah, so Pokemon Terrarium Collection 13. 6-pack. I do like the idea of these Pokemon Terrariums. They've done these a few times. Obviously, this is number 13 6-pack. 5,000 yen. I think if you like the whole idea of having, I guess, Pokeball themed merchandise, it's quite good overall, and it's good value. I don't know what the size of these are. I'm guessing they're quite small for the amount you're paying for them. So they're probably what, golf ball sized. I do like this idea of these. It's not figure related, but just because I quite like Pokemon. If you're someone who's been collecting the Pokemon trainer figures from the anime, then obviously you'd probably want to get these terrariums as well. First figure, GG Gundam Girls Generation Mobile Suit Gundam Sea Destiny Lunar Hawk swimsuit version. It's a swimsuit version of a Gundam Girl. So, yeah, pretty simple figure. This is by Mega House, so I think the paint job will be good. Overall, there's not a lot of detailing, but you do get sandals, the shorts, and a sweatshirt, sweat jacket that you can have on her if you want, or you can have her with none of those. So it's interesting if your collection's more around swimsuit figures, then and you like Gundam overall, then it might be worth getting this. Or if you quite like the Gundam Girls Generation series, then it might be worth getting. It's just a pretty simple figure. 20,000 yen is probably maybe a bit much. Probably close to 15,000 yen maybe. But I think the hair shading looks amazing. It's probably the highlight of the figure, really. Apart from her being a swimsuit. Sosu Sajuteu, sorry, by Kota Bukiya. It's a 1/10 plastic model. It's just another figure. It's interesting because it's an action figure lineup one. You get, but it's a bit more. Oh, okay, so there's quite a few appendage ways you can obviously have her, and you get quite a few accessories, which is quite good, I think, overall. So if you're more into the action figures, for 7,000 yen, it's not too bad, especially if you get the other one that's pictured in a schoolgirl outfit. Not Wakaba's girl high school winter outfit. I'm not sure of this series, but it's just one I thought I'd pick. And to show you guys that there are other things, not just figures. There are actions, there's Nendoroids, there's prize figures as well. So there are things in the sort of the lower end range that if you want, that you don't really require scale figures for. Okay, back up to the expensive end. Tou Kakugu no Railgun Kuroku Shirai bunny version 2nd quarter scale. I don't know if that means she's already had a release, but it is for 38,500 yen. Considering she's a more slender character, there's not a lot not as much material there as compared to more thick freeing or girls from freeing. So I think you're paying a lot for it, and considering it's just a bog standard bunny girl pose outfit, there's nothing spectacular or special about this figure. It's just freeing, charging freeing prizes. If you like this character, then possibly worth getting, but I did not. It's not, and I think, to be perfectly honest, I think her legs are out of proportion with the waist. I think it's too much leg, not enough waist. Upper body, I think there's too much. Yeah, the lower half and the bottom half just throws you off kilter. So unfortunately, it's don't think that's a very good figure overall for freeing. I reckon that will probably go down in value quite a lot, even though it's in fishnets. Unless if people really love her, Kuroko. I'm not a big fan of Kuroko, even though she's more of a tsundere. Is it tsundere? So I probably using that wrong. Idol Master Shiny Colors, Asahi Surazawa Housekeeping. It's a maid. Maids are. Everyone loves maids. You can't hate maids. It's a pretty simple maid figure, 15,600 yen by Reverse Studio. So it'll be interesting to see, because I've not seen anything from Reverse Studio yet. Comes out Jan 2024. It's a clumsy maid style, I guess you could say. She's tripping forward, or she's just doing a dusting, and she's just enjoying her time. So I think if you're into your maid figures and characters that are in maids, either are maids or have been represented in maid outfits, then it might be worth getting this figure. The shadings is obviously pretty good overall. I think for the whites, there's a reasonable amount of shading for it. The black, the actual black part of the dress, there's like no shading. That's going to be down to your light. No, there's a little bit of shading, but not much. But I think it's a very fun maid figure, so it's quite good to have overall to get if you're into your maid figures. And the price, I think, is probably about right, really, for it. You're getting a lot of the dress obviously being billowing out, so it's not exactly just standing, a maid standing still. So it's quite good overall. It's more dynamic. Gem series Code Geass Resurrection CC Pilot Suit version complete Mega House. This is a re-release. This is one I think a lot of people have been waiting for. She is a very attractive figure from from Code Geass. I think a lot of people definitely do want her. I'm very tempted to get her, but it's coming out in November, and I've got other pre-orders in there. 21,780 yen. I think the aftermarket prices was obviously skyrocketed was really high for her, and they've come down a bit now because of this second release. Whether the paint job's actually better, we'll have to see. I think it'll be good if someone has the first release and the second release for this one, and compare the paint jobs to see if they've either improved or if there's any other, if there was problems with the first one, if those have been resolved. But I think people are buy this figure for the posture that she's in, but there's a very attractive figure. It's definitely and if you like the Code Geass series, which is a much older anime series, a lot of people do like her, and she's a favourite girl from the Code Geass series. A lot of people like her have her as a waifu. Talking about waifus, Ghost in the Shell Motoko Kusanagi. This is a very nice looking figure. It's by Mega House, 22,800 yen. It is the sort of more traditional Ghost in the Shell figure, rather than what you see from the movie with Scarlett Johansson. So I think this is obviously a copy of the actual anime, not the live action, which is good. I think I definitely prefer the anime over the live action. You're buying this for the aesthetic, and because you don't really see much in terms of Ghost in the Shell of these days, with it being a much older anime, but it's one of the entry points that people should really watch. It's one of the hallmarks of anime culture, or part of the anime culture. So it's definitely, I think, if you love Ghost in the Shell, which I do, it's a figure probably worth getting. And there's not going to really be many other Ghost in the Shell figures coming out in the future, I don't think. So good. Mega House, I think, will do fine on the paint job. I think you're buying it just because you like the figure and you like the series and you enjoy the anime, and you just want to have a physical representation of that in your collection, just to show people that you like Ghost in the Shell and you've watched it. This another freeing figure. This one's probably is worth the money because it is a very nice looking figure. Beastyle Code Geass Lelouch of the Rebellion. This is one I was very tempted to pre-order. Comes out in December. If it got delayed, or it was a January release, I probably would get it. It's definitely obviously a much more different. It's a different design of a freeing bodysuit. More dominatrix style, which I think is actually quite good. I've not seen Code Geass, so I can't tell if that suits the character. But I think the oval figure looks very nice. I think it's very high quality. It's a tanned girl as well, which is another plus. With it being tanned, not a standard but beast bunny suit, and with it being rather than having the full fishnets going all the way up as well, it's part of the design. Well, a bit being more like proper stockings, with gatters, I think those are called, the little strands that come down from the suit to attach to the top of the fishnet of the stockings. Then they're called garters. And the hair going into this piece back here is quite good. I think there was some people of there's this little hair seam drawing I saw on Reddit, which does ruin the figure really. Hopefully that's just with it being in the prototype and they've had to take a picture of it like that, or it was the only one made that they painted and it got damaged or something, maybe, or they have to ship it with it like that because it gets damaged in shipment or it's too fragile. I hope they can have that seam reduced. I think that is the main thing that ruins it for me, where you don't want to pay nearly 40,000 yen for, is like everything else looks great, but then like when you're looking at the face or the upper half, and then you see this detachable hair seam, it's like, I paid how much for this? So that's the only thing, unfortunately. And it's single shipment, so you can't even roll it in with other ones. So I'm giving this a miss, and I'll just have to see how it is on just in the aftermarket, unfortunately, whether it be something I'll get later on. That rolls out this week's anime figure release video from Tri-Animes, and I will see you in the next video.